Who's my big boy? Who's my big boy? Who's my big boy? Come here, Bill. Bill, look. Look, come here. Oh, okay. You run away. All right, y'all. So this video, are you going to come here or not? So this video is about the African American. Hey, get down. Get the fuck out. Nope, you're not stealing that. Get out. Go. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is about the African American Trump supporters. And these are some of the biggest names and most staunch and popular Trump supporters. All right. So I got a list here, and I'm missing one, and I cannot remember his fucking name for the life of me because I was going to do a parody. And he calls himself Black something, Black Terrence, or Black Michael, or something. And I was going to say I'm White Michael, or whatever the fuck. And by no means am I racist. This is not racist. I can talk about this shit because it's fact. And if you want to disagree with me and call me a racist, then you're probably a racist your fucking self, and you don't know me. You don't know who I am. You don't know the people I hang around with. You don't know what I believe in. And you obviously haven't been listening to anything that I've been saying. So we're gonna start off with Candace Owens. All right. Now this bitch is a huge right-wing Trump supporter, right-wing conservative, so she says. This is the same lady, and I'm almost 99.9% sure this was her, and I'm pretty sure it was her. She was at a Comic-Con or a conservative convention or something. It obviously wasn't Comic-Con. I'm pretty sure it was a conservative convention. She said that marijuana ruined her life, and that it was because of weed she became like a whore and was like doing drugs, all sorts of shit. This is what she said. This is not what I'm saying. This is what she said on live TV during an interview. Like, why do you support Trump? You're an African American. You know, he's said a lot of racist things. His policy, a lot of stuff he does is racist, and this is fact. You can look it up. And oh no, you know, he's not racist, and marijuana ruined my life. And she's like huge anti-marijuana, anti-drugs, all that shit. So she's one of the main ones, and she's on the forefront of the push to get African Americans to follow Republicans and Trump. And so before I go any farther, I just want to say the Republican Party, and especially under Trump, if you're an African American or you're a Latino American or you're Mexican American or Honduras American, if you're anything but white, these fuckers hate you. I don't understand how you can say that they're not racist when they literally have fully endorsed people like Roy Moore, who said the best time in America was during slavery and that we need to make slavery legal again. This is real. You can look it up. In 2017, there was a special election, and Donald Trump fully endorsed, shut up, fully endorsed Roy Moore, who wanted to abolish all of the amendments except the first 10, which would make slavery legal again. And then when quoted on this and asked about it, he said that slavery was the best time in America's history because the families were closer together. So no matter how you try to twist that, well, he just liked the family part. He just loves families and families being together. The white people stripped African Americans from each other, and they sold off the sons and the daughters and the fathers and the mothers and the cousins, and they sold off everyone to slavery. So you cannot sit there and say, well, it was the best time in America because families were closer together, when for the African American community, they were separated and they were sold and they were beaten and they were whipped and lashed. And like, are you fucking for real? You cannot be this dumb. And it's just like the Republicans' argument of, you know, the Civil War was about states' rights. No, it wasn't, because the bottom line, you can try to twist it to that, and yes, it is true that a lot of the soul, like, so I don't know the exact numbers, so don't quote me on it. And I'm not put when I put money on a fact, it's 100% true. When I say that I don't know the fact 100%, it means I don't know the fact 100%. I'm not going to put money on it. But you can look it up yourself. But I will not speak about something that is completely false. So what I'm saying is true, but I do not know the exact numbers right now. But during the Civil War, a lot of the people that fought for the South were poor, and they were not landowners, and they were not rich. They were just a regular citizen, and they were told to go fight. Even African Americans were forced. They were not told, like, do you volunteer to fight for the South to be slaves? They were forced to fight. And that's why people fled to the North. All right. And these people are pushing for African Americans to vote for the Republican Party, saying that it's, excuse me, I've been drinking, saying that it's Democrats who want slavery legal again, and it's Democrats who are racist, and it's the Democrats who do this and that. Well, like I said, if you follow my channel, you know that I'm not Democrat, and you know that I'm not Republican. And right now, I'm focusing on the Republican Party for everything that's been going on. I cannot. What am I supposed to talk about with Democrats right now? That they want to give you $2,000 a month during a lockdown, so you can pay your bills $2,000 a month for 4 to 6 months, like every other major country is doing, including our neighbors to the north, Canada, who are given $2,000 per citizen per month until the shit goes away. How am I supposed to bash that? Like, oh, we can't afford it, but we just gave $6.4 trillion or whatever to corporations who just made trillions in permanent tax cuts in 2017, who made record profits in the stock market. They didn't lose money again. The stock market went up, and they sold up here, and they sold all the way down, and they started down here, and they still sold in this area. They still sold for fucking profit. All right. No, but back to the African American thing. So we got Candace Owens, one of the biggest fucking African American vote for Republicans, and they love you compared to Democrats. And then they bring up, well, Obama was black and he did nothing in 8 years for the African American community. Well, you know what? I wasn't a big fan of Obama, and if you watch my videos, you would know that I say this 1,000 fucking times, and I only voted for him in 2008. Well, you know why not a lot of shit got done? Was because the Republicans held the Senate with the same Senate Majority Leader McConnell today was the Senate Majority Leader then, and they refused to do anything. They even said when Obama took office, we are going to stonewall and we are going to make sure that Obama cannot get shit done. They wouldn't even let him appoint judges. So Trump, he's been allowed to appoint judges all day long, even during an election year and during multiple election years, when the Republicans argued you can't appoint a judge during an election year because what if the seats change? So you can't do that. And Obama tucked his dick between his legs and was like a fucking cucked ass piece of shit and like, okay, I won't do it, and I won't appoint judges, and they won't get approved. But here we are with Trump doing the same shit, and McConnell and them are like, McConnell on live TV, well, I said that then, but that don't matter now. We need to put these judges through. Go, go, go. Like, they don't give a fuck. They're liars. All right, so then let's move to the Hodge twins. All right. The Hodge twins are big pieces of shit. It's a twin brothers, obviously, both African American. I don't know if they got some mix. I don't know. You know, these people are right wing conspiracy theorists, and if you follow their YouTube channel, they talk crazy shit. They like leave information out. They do exactly what they blame the left wing media of doing, but then do it themselves. And they're like, oh, the left wing media leaves out all this information, but then we're going to do stories and leave out all this information to make us look good and make liberals and progressives look bad. So they do this all day long, every day. They do video after video, and it's two brothers. And what this does is African Americans and people of color see this shit, and they're like, oh man, they're telling us facts. And these brothers are telling us the truth, and they're helping us out, and they're telling us the truth and not letting us be controlled by the white man. That's what these people do. And they do the same shit, and they pick and choose their videos that they talk about, and they edit it, and they make it look like they're the good guys, and then they, oh, see, the liberals got owned. And if you're educated enough to not be partisan, to where you fact check shit, like where you sit down, can watch a video and say, you know what, I'm not going to believe anything I heard. Same thing here. Do not believe anything I say. Please do not believe anything I say. Fact check it. I don't want you to hear me talk and then you go tell your family I heard this dude say this, so it's true. I don't want you to do that at all. You need to pretend that I'm lying to you. You need to pretend that I'm telling you lies every single time I talk. Every single time I make a video, you need to understand in your head that I'm lying to you. And then you need to fact check me, and then you'll realize that I'm not lying to you, and then you know that you have facts. But I do not want you to hear me. I do not want you to come on my channel, watch a video, and say, this guy just told me a bunch of facts without fact checking it, because I could be lying to you too. I could be lying right now and making all this up, and these people might not even exist. And I could just be making shit up. It is your job as an educated adult or child, whoever's watching this, even though if you're under 18, you probably shouldn't be watching this. Well, I wouldn't say 18, but 14, 13, probably 12. 12 and under, you probably shouldn't be watching this. Do not believe a single fucking word I say. Fact check it. All right. So we got the Hodge twins, and then we got Diamond and Silk, who are on Fox News all the time, or they used to be. And it's I believe it's a mother-daughter family, African American. That's what the video is about, and they love Trump. I love Trump for this, and I love Trump. Oh my God! And like same thing. They're just rambling off the love for Trump. When Trump says crazy shit like he did yesterday, where uh, and we need to look up injections of disinfectant, they'll twist it and turn it around onto the liberals to own the libs somehow, whatever. All right. And then we got there's one I'm missing, and I could not find his name. I haven't seen a video from him in a while. I cannot remember if his name is Maurice, or it was I was gonna do a parody to him because he calls himself the Black Maurice or Black something. And I was gonna be like, well, I'm the white something, and because he stormed Adam Schiff's office and he acts like he's all in the loop and I'm for the people, but he edits videos and then he sits there and he has his MAGA hat on and he's like MAGA and he's fucking eating popcorn and he's like, this is libertards and all sorts of shit. He has a huge following. I cannot remember his name. I tried to look it up for 30 minutes, but you can find it. You'll find it. He stormed Adam Schiff's office. He looks like a fucking dumbass doing this shit. But so Michael the Black Man, that's what he calls himself. This is what he calls himself. He calls himself Michael the Black Man, and I put in parentheses super crazy. Like for real. That's what he calls himself. You can look it up. He's the guy that's behind Trump with the Blacks for Trump 2020 sign. And his actual name is Maurice Simonetti. All right, Maurice Simonetti. Now, if you follow him, and like I said, this is what he calls himself, Michael the Black Man. All right, I'm not calling him that. That's what he calls himself, and that's what he's told CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, all these places that have interviewed him. His name is Maurice Simonetti. He is a right-wing Christian extremist. And when I say extremist, he's an extremist. He is a conspiracy theorist. He believes people should die for their sins, and liberals should die and murder them, like kill themselves, or they need to be killed. If you go to his website, Blacks for Trump 2020, there's another link for another website he's held, and it's crazy and it's dangerous. It is insanity. These are people that need mental evaluations and they need their guns taken away. I'm a huge Second Amendment supporter. And if you tell me that I'm not, I will pull out every gun and I will set them right here behind me, and I'll hang up my American flag, and I got guns that shoot fully automatic. So you need to shut the fuck up. I own more guns than conservatives. I have a crate of SKSs that I bought that were made in 1966, still in Cosmoline. All right, I have a fully automatic AR-15 that's legally owned. I have an AK-47 that blew up that I messaged the company who made it, waiting for new guns, and I asked for 3 guns in return for the one that blew up in my face and almost killed me, hoping they give it to me. I have pistols, I have rifles, I have shotguns. I am not for any sort of gun bans. I think gun bans are the stupidest thing, and we can look at history and look at every country that has banned guns and look what's happened. Look at Mexico. They took guns away from their citizens and was like, well, you can't have guns. We don't need we got the military. We got the same thing liberals want to do in this country. Well, we got the military, and me and my cousin argue this on all the time. So my my cousin, sorry, I want to see it. My cousin, all right, me, my brother, and my cousin, we argue politics throughout the day, every day, texting each other. My brother lives in Georgetown, Utah, and my cousin lives in Portland, Oregon, and I live in Denver, Colorado. All right. And we all argue about different things, but we all boil down to the same agreements. Like, no matter what, we're like, politicians are corrupt. We need to get money out of politics. We need to quit giving money to the rich. But yet, my brother supports Trump, who is all for giving money to the rich. And my cousin Cody is all for taking guns away from the people. And I keep telling him, and I'm like, me and your cousin, which is my brother, we own guns and we've never killed anyone. And he's like, well, but you guys don't need AR-15s and AK-47s. Well, no, of course nobody needs it, but it's all right. We want it. We own it. We deserve to. We're not killing people. And the statistics are 99.9%. It's like 99.6 or 99.9% of legal gun owners do not commit a crime with their own gun. It is people that steal guns, that are felons, or they're actual just there's bad people or criminals that take guns, steal guns, buy guns, and commit crimes or even make guns. I can go make a gun in the garage right now. Take me a day. I can take a big sheet of metal. I can even get a 3D printer and make a fucking gun, and then add a fucking. I can make all the mechanisms for the subframe, everything, and then put a metal barrel in, and boom, I got a gun. I'm not for any gun bans. So moving on, 'cause I can talk, you guys see my channel. I could talk for fucking hours, and everything I say is true. And I might have the numbers a little wrong, but when I'm 100% right, you'll hear me say, I'll put money on this fact, prove me wrong, I'll pay you. All right. Sorry, y'all. I'm drinking a big beer. Blue Moon. My birthday's Sunday, turning dirty 30. All right. So that was Michael the Black Man. Literally super crazy. That's what he calls himself again. Maurice Simonotti or Simonotti. Insane motherfucker. He believes Jesus is coming to kill us all, that him and his brothers and not when I say brothers, I don't mean white people and black people. I mean him and all Jesus followers are gonna go to heaven. And then we got this new one that I found the other day, just yesterday actually, the Officer Tatum. And I was talking to someone online, like I was watching news things and excuse me, and updating on what's going on in the world, in the country. And somebody was like, you need to watch the Officer Tatum, and he's a fact checking motherfucker, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, well let's check it out. I'm open. I click on it. Instantly, the guy has a T-shirt on that says, "I support Trump, and you can't tell me different," or something like that. Like, once I saw that it was like a Trump channel, I was like, "Okay, this is gonna be retarded." And sure enough, it was. He went rambling on about how Trump's the best, and this is the thing is like he holds himself up and is so confident, and he's got a good camera, and he's doing these videos, and there's like hours and hours of these videos, and he's rambling off half fact and mostly fake news. Like he's like rambling off shit, and most of it is not real or it's misconstrued, and he's leaving information out, which I kept commenting. I was like, dude, you're leaving so much. Like you're saying one thing, but you're leaving. Like you're saying something that's up here, and all these people that I just listed off. So we got Candace Owens. You guys should all know Candace Owens. That bitch is fucking crazy. All right. And then we got the Hodge twins. If you don't know them, look them up. They're fucking crazy. You know, they're all, oh, look at this stupid liberal, and I got this video, and like they're dumb. These people are so partisan that no matter what, they stick to one thing. Me, I can call everybody out because I'm not partisan. Boom, I call you out. You're trying to take my guns. Boom, I'm calling you out because you're going to protest a fucking virus with your guns. Like, what? And then we got Diamond and Silk. You see them on Fox News all the time and on right wing media. We got Michael the Black Man, who he calls himself that, the Blacks for Trump 2020 poster guy. His name's Maurice Simonotti. And he's actually, I was like, so check this out. I forgot the other information, which is written on my page. I know it's going to be hard to read that. He is affiliated with a cult leader. All right. So Michael the Black Man, the Blacks for Trump 2020 guy, or Maurice Simonotti, he is affiliated with the cult leader Yahweh Ben Yahweh. And supposedly, I don't know much about this. I just learned this right before I did this video. I did not look up into it, but he is. You can look it up yourself. I'm gonna try to do it while I'm talking to you. Yahweh Ben Yahweh is a cult leader. So let's see. Yahweh Ben Yahweh. And I mean, it'll probably take me a while to fucking look this shit up. Yahweh Ben Yahweh was an American who in 1979 founded and led the Nation of Yahweh, a new religious movement headquartered in Florida devoted to thousands of African Americans. At its peak, he was later indicted on 3 counts of federal racketeering extortion charges, and however was found not guilty, but he was convicted of conspiracy to commit murder. These people are crazy. So the Blacks for Trump 2020 dude is part of a cult, part of a group from Yahweh Ben Yahweh. So you can look it up. You're not gonna be able to see that, but YAHWEHBENYAHWH Yahweh Ben Yahweh. He was a cult leader, or it says his real name, Hulan Mitchell Jr., born October 27th, 1935, died May 7th, 2007. This guy was a cult leader who fucking Maurice Simonotti, or Michael the Black Man for Blacks for Trump, was part of. So this just goes back to circle what I've been saying. These are extremists. These are not good people. These are not people that are looking out for your interest. They're looking out to make themselves money. And I wish I had the name of the dude that I've been trying to find. I cannot. It was like Maurice the Black Man. It was literally, it's like the Black Maurice or the Black Michael, something like that. Because I was gonna do a parody of him, and every video he made of himself doing something, I was gonna do the opposite, but call myself the white whatever. And I'm sure people would be like, "Oh, that's racist." But it's like, well, he's calling himself the black whatever, so I can call myself the white whatever and spit the facts while he spits conspiracy theories. He literally, you can look it up. I cannot find the video. I think they might have deleted it. He marched into Adam Schiff's office and was like, "Where the fuck is this traitor? Where's this traitor?" Freaking out. These are people you need to look out for. All right. They do not care about you. What these people are trying to do. Now, there are some African American YouTubers I followed, and there are some African American people that I follow that do support Trump, but they're not extremists. And they're like, they call out their racism, and they're like, I don't like the fact that they're, supporting Nazis or nationalists, and that they're, not speaking out against it, and that all this shit's going on. But I do like the policies and how the Democrats have done nothing for us for years. And that's what this all boils. They're like, the Democrats they say they're for us, but they've done nothing for us for years. Well, keep in mind, you know why that is? Because Mitch McConnell has been the Senate majority. God, I mean, he's been the Senate majority leader. Fucking A. He's been the Senate majority leader for years. I mean, over 15 fucking years. Since 1984, he's been in the Senate and he's been elected fucking every time since. So since 1984, Mitch McConnell has been running the Senate. Boom. The longest serving leader of the U.S. Senate Republican in history, McConnell was first elected in 1984 and has been reelected since. So, you know why shit's not getting done for African Americans or anybody? It's because of Mitch McConnell. He's been the Senate majority leader for over 30, 40 fucking years. So when bills get passed by the House, they go to the Senate. And the Senate can pass bills, which then goes back to the House, then back to the Senate, then to the president. So he's been the leader for 30, 40 years in the Senate. And people and these African Americans are using their skin color to try to brainwash other African Americans to think that the Democrats are against you. Like, look, Obama did nothing while he was president. He was black. He didn't help you at all. And what did they do before that? And what are they doing now? You know what? Technically, that's true. Obama didn't do anything, and nothing's happened before that. But you know why? Because it boils down to Mitch McConnell. He is the Senate Majority Leader. So if the Senate Majority Leader for 20, 30, 40 years says, I'm not bringing any bills to the Senate floor that help African Americans, that's it. There's nothing you can do. You cannot go around and have a president just making up laws. That's against the Constitution. And that's why they have executive orders on a certain amount of power. But these people, the African American community, isn't suffering because of Democrats. And I'm sorry to say it, that's not true. It's because these white, old racists, these are old white racist people, are running the Senate. They used to run the House until Democrats won in 2018. And now we have a white supremacist as president telling you that you need to inject disinfectant into your body to cure coronavirus. By all means, Trump supporters, please do it. But this is why nothing gets done in this country, because we have to pass bills through the House and they have to have a majority vote. Then it goes to the Senate where they have to have a majority vote, and then the president has to sign it. And if the president refuses to sign it, it goes back to, I believe, the Senate or the House. Not 100% sure which one, I cannot remember. But I think it goes back to the Senate for a override vote, or it's the House, and they have to have, I think it's 70% vote to pass it and override the president's veto. So the problem isn't Democrats. The problem is Republican Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. So when you have one person leading the Senate for 40 years, 30, 40 years, how are you supposed to get shit done? You can't. So it's up to him. So say I'm Senate Majority Leader, all right, and I don't have a notebook with me, but say I get a stack of bills. Boom. Hey, Ian, we need you to go over these bills. We want them brought up to the Senate floor, and whatever we don't like, we'll add amendments to. Well, what he does is say, all right, fuck this shit, and he throws it away. He's on live TV at a conservative meeting. I don't know if it was CPAC of last year or what. He bragged that he is the Grim Reaper. This is on video. So you don't believe me? This I put money on. I bet you $1,000 right now. Mitch McConnell is on video saying he is the Grim Reaper of legislation, and his office is where bills go to die. So he is admitting that he does not allow bills to go to the Senate floor that he doesn't want to get voted on, because there's election protection bills right now. So this is a big thing. Republicans always bitch about voter ID and voter fraud. There are 4 election protection bills sitting on McConnell's desk since January of 2019. All of them are bipartisan, every single one. 3 of them were written by Democrats. One was written by God, what's his Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio wrote one, and Democrats wrote the other 3. They are all bipartisan. They were all voted with fucking 430 something votes. I think all House members voted, but like at least 430 votes for each one through the House. They've been sitting on McConnell's desk for over a year and 4 months now. Election protection bills. That this includes voter registration, ID cards. This includes putting everything on a backup system from the electronic computerized voting systems onto paper ballots and making you fill out paper ballots, which I recommend everyone who votes to fill out a paper ballot, and some other things. But it stops all that illegal votes and all illegals are voting and all that shit. It stops it all. But Republicans refuse to pass it in the Senate, mostly McConnell. He does not want that to go through. And as we saw just 2-3 weeks ago, Republicans were on TV and even President Trump admitting that if everybody was able to vote, Republicans wouldn't win elections. So that's why they purge voters, and that's why they had people during a pandemic go out and vote, because they knew if our base doesn't care about dying. So if we hold this election still, even though the governor of Michigan signed a thing to where voting was going to be postponed, the Republicans brought it to the Supreme Court, which was then approved by the Supreme Court, where people had to vote. So people had to go out during a pandemic and vote. And Republicans knew our base is so stupid that they're going to go wait out in line to vote. And we're going to win because Democrat voters are not willing to risk their lives during a pandemic to go place a vote. All right. They admitted that next day and the day after that they don't want paper ballots, or they don't want like any sort of easy voting. They don't want mail-in ballots like we do here in Colorado. You register to vote, you show your ID, you go in, you fill out paperwork. They send you a ballot about a month before the vote, and then you can fill it out, and then you can send it in the mail or drop it off at a drop box. They don't want that. It's in Utah, it's here, it's in multiple states. It works. The only voter fraud in recent history was North Carolina during the 2018 midterms by Republicans who went around picking up absentee ballots, and 4 Republicans were arrested, 4 Republicans were found guilty, and 4 Republicans are currently serving jail sentences, are on probation for doing what they did. They had to have a runoff election, which didn't happen until early January, February 2019. And this is more proof Republicans do not want people to vote. This is why they gerrymander. This is why they shut down polling booths. So in Michigan during the coronavirus, they went from one of their biggest cities at like 185 polling stations down to 5, because for some reason they thought 180 polling stations during a pandemic was bad, but let's make everybody go to 5 because they don't want you to vote. And this is the problem, is that if you don't have good policies, you're not going to win. And the policies of give everything to the rich and let's tax the fucking middle class, and let's let the rich who make $1 million pay nothing in taxes, and let's let corporations pay nothing in taxes. What the fuck? Of course you're going to lose elections. Democrats want to give you health care. And the Republican argument is, well, we can't afford it. Well, we just gave $6.6 trillion in bailout money to corporations that already got trillions in tax cuts, who just locked in trillions of profit, who just now got trillions in bailout money. No questions asked. No question. Not a single question. Where are we going to come up with the $7 trillion to bail out these companies? Oh, it don't matter. We got to bail them out because this is the old trick. The rich and the corporations create jobs. And technically, that's true. All right. technically they create jobs, all right, but they don't pay taxes. And you know what stimulates the economy is the fucking people. The people. So if I gave you $50,000 a day, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go spend it. But if I give Amazon $10 billion in a bailout, what are they gonna do? Nothing. Nothing changes. They're sitting on 200 billion, 300 billion. They're sitting on billions of dollars. This is the problem in this country. So we complained about giving people $1,200 one time, but we were able to give $1 trillion fucking bailouts to companies. So this is all. I got a lot of videos coming today. This is just stupid. But this was to the African Americans trying to brainwash African Americans to support the Republican Party, and don't think for a second that they will not put you in chains when they make slavery illegal again. And you say this is far fetched. Roy Moore ran on making slavery legal again, and Donald Trump and Republicans fully endorsed. They fully endorsed Roy Moore, and Roy Moore ran on making slavery legal again. That he wanted to abolish all the amendments except the first 10, which would not only get rid of women's rights and women's voting rights, it would make slavery legal again. And Republicans supported that. They ran on it. Donald Trump has since supported 5 white supremacists for Congress during the midterms of 2018. To this day, he has said racist things and supports racist policies. And if you're an African American or Mexican American or Latino American or Asian American, and you don't look up the history of the United States of how Asians were treated, especially the Chinese or African Americans, and you think that the Civil War was for states' rights, you're an uneducated motherfucker, and you yourself might be a racist. Now, if you're uneducated and you go research this shit, and then you still come out with the same thought process that you had before, that it's all about states' rights and all that bullshit, then you're a racist. So do not fall for this. I'm sorry. Please research these fucking people, and do not fall for African Americans on YouTube or in the news telling you that they support Trump and that he's not racist, because they're getting one or two things. They're getting money for doing so because they're using it to get people like you, just like evangelicals do. They use God and Jesus to get money and say that, oh, we gotta fucking pass the plate around, and you need to. This is the thing. Send me your stimulus check. This is true. And send me your stimulus check because Jesus needs it right now, even though people are struggling while they're flying around in a fucking G8 jet. I mean, come on, people. Wake the fuck up. And if you're going to vote for people that want to make slavery legal again and you support them because you saw a black YouTuber say this shit, fact check them. Just like I'm saying right now, fact check me. Don't believe a single fucking word I'm saying. I could just be lying to you. I could be sitting here high as fuck, which I am. I could be sitting here high as fuck, lying to you, which I'm not. But fact check me. Fact check everything I'm saying. Fact check what these fuckers are saying, and fact check what these African American YouTubers are saying. Because they're doing it for the money. They know for a fact that these people are racist. They know for a fact that white supremacists are marching down the street. Except for the one dude, the fucking the the Black Lives Matter dude, or not the Black Lives Matter, which I'm not a fan of Black Lives Matter. They went too extreme. There's a Black Lives Matter good group, and there's a Black Lives Matter extremist group who like to burn down their own cities because they're a bunch of retards. And then they complain, what happened to our local store? Why is it burnt down to the ground? Because you burnt it down and you robbed it. But what's his name? Michael the Black Man, that's what he calls himself, Maurice Simonetti. Look him up and look up what he stands for. Blacks for Trump 2020. He is an extremist. He's a racist against his own kind. So don't fall for this shit, people. And I know I'm rambling on. I'm just saying it makes me mad because people are falling for this shit, and I'm African American and this guy's speaking it how it is. Well, no, because what's his agenda? They're getting paid. Because I guarantee you're gonna get locked up in shackles and chains if these people get in control of these Republicans. and they take over the country like they want to, like they want to take over the country, they want to change the constitution, they want to make it to where you have to do what they say, they're going to lock people of color up back in chains and shackles. I guarantee it. I mean, they fully endorsed. I keep saying that. Endorsed more and more who wanted slavery to be legal again. So wake the fuck up, especially if you are a person of color. Do not fall for this shit because you know what's going to happen? You're going to be locked up in shackles and chains, and you're going to be like, "What's going on? I supported you." And they're going to say, "Sorry, nigger. Sorry. Like, you should have known. We're fucking sitting here saying slavery is the best time in America. I don't understand how you didn't know that. Thanks for putting us in office." And then they're going to give you two options. Do you want to work for us for free and work the fields, or do you want to be our butler? Wake the fuck up. Don't fall for this shit. Don't fall for the Candace Owen bullshit. Marijuana destroyed my life. Don't fall for the Hodge twins bullshit. Oh, we're conservative Hodge twins and we speak the facts when they edit their videos down and they pick and choose what they're doing. And don't fall for Diamond and Silk, which is a mom and daughter pair. Don't fall for especially for the Trump Blacks for Trump 2020. That dude's an extremist fucking Christian crazy man. And then we got fucking the officer Tatum, which he seemed like the most legit person that you could listen to. But when you read his shirt and watch a couple videos of his, you realize he's just as bad. He just carries himself in a better way. He doesn't go full extreme, and he's just like, if you watch him, you can kind of fall for it. And I started to like get sucked in. And I was like, oh, yeah, he's making a lot of sense. And then I realized his shirt. And then I started double back playing what he was saying. And then I was like, oh, okay, he's a fucking right wing extremist. Don't fall for this shit, people. Go down the middle. Go down the middle. Don't be left. Don't be right. Go down the fucking middle, which would be my left. You're right. But whatever. Don't go anything but the middle. Don't fall for this shit. Don't be right wing. Don't be left wing. Fact check everything. Fact check me. Fact check these fuckers. Fact check every video you see of the president. Fact check everything. That's the key. Fact check critical thinking. Fact check critical thinking. Over and over and over again until you get that in your brain. Don't believe shit that anybody says. Ever. Even me. Don't believe anything I say without fact checking it. And that is all.